Hi everyone,
Hello.
welcome to a game of Dice and Dynamics. I am your friend, host, and occasional purveyor of thrifted goods. Joining here with me today are my fellow thrift shoppers, Jason, Mark, Sam, and of course the effervescent Mutie who always cuts the buying price by 50% of its actual worth. Today, the wastrels live their last day in Kirsebal, having woken up at varying hours of the morning. Some of them not leaving their rooms well into the day, having started. The full group of wastrels are gathered at the table. Most notably, Mushinari is seated at the head of it. And artists on the other side of her, so on and so forth. The meal is, again, another lightly roasted fish along with the various vegetables and fruits. A light meal, but a lot more decadent than what they've been served for the past however many days. Music is playing from the gramophone, and Tyrion had complained about someone messing with one of his cylinders. But he hasn't made as much of a fuss as he usually would.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
If you can even call that it that anymore.
Barely hear Jason.
You're more pessimistic than usual, Luana. What happened?
No, I can just barely hear everyone. That's what it is.
Thank you for the description. Came
Nothing
for
in particular.
13
just
months.
About to set out
Appreciate
into
you.
the jungle again.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's fair.
Speaking of, did we want to pour the jug one last time?
Are we leaving it here?
Missionary will.
I thought we had discussed that we were leaving it, but
Oh. Okay. Let me fix a spell in my book real quick. Make sure we have water.
We have water. We have the jug.
I thought we said we're not taking
We
it.
were discussing whether or not we're taking it with us.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
That's what I was asking, because you said one last time, so I thought we weren't taking it with us.
Well, one last time here in Kirsebal
Oh.
before we leave. But if we would like to leave it, I mean, that is a valid option.
He was about to say something. And Jet's like pointing to Majinari without really looking, just like, he was gonna say something.
She'll kind of like fix her shirt and fold her hands on the table, a little uncomfortable with how like cramped it is. And she'll, no, I was just going to ask if you wanted me to pour it, and if there was anything specific we all wanted to see.
You can make that happen?
She's a
sure.
Muin. Of course she can make it happen.
I didn't know that's how that worked. That's quite interesting.
Blood magic.
I'm fine with that. Might be useful. Still have to find the other cubes.
Oh yeah, we could ask about that.
Kozak will go retrieve the jug and hand it over to Mojonari.
How many did we need?
He's.
Sorry, go ahead.
What were you asking?
we're not sure.
Jet was asking how many cubes we had left that we had to get.
We're not sure.
5, right?
Well, I have 2.
And I have a running theory that Ifan's note was suggesting that Rosny may have multiples, not just one cube.
Well, we
Mhm.
need 9, so we know how many we need. We just need to get them, right?
Do we know if we need 9?
Well, we need all the cubes, and we know that they're based off the 9 gods.
And how many do we have again after the whole thing with the Terrafolk?
3.
No.
We can't have 3. I have 2, and you
Yeah,
had
and
1.
I have 1.
Didn't
No, we have one more than that.
I was gonna
Because we
say-
also have the one from that Dell was holding on to. So that's 3.
That was the Wongo, right?
Yes.
Um,
We have Papizotto, Nanong, and Wongo.
so 3.
So 3. So we need...
I thought we had 3 before we went to the Terrafolk.
No, we were going there to get the 3rd.
And that was the Jakuli one, right?
No, no.
No, there hasn't. Has there been a Jakuli one?
Yes, I have.
I
the,
thought
I
we
have
got
the
it out of character. I
Monster.
thought we got a Chakuli
I
one.
have the Sue Monster and I have the Jakuli. This is why I was asking the questions, because
Okay.
I've had those before the Terrafolk fight. That's why I
Okay.
was really.
Yeah.
I just know
Yeah,
that I have
you-
the Papizotto one.
You guys have 4. You have the Jakuli,
Yes.
Papizotto, Mongo, and Nog. Nag.
Nag.
Nong Nong.
Because Jason, you had the first one. I took the Sue Monster, and then I took Jakuli just because of Raylan, and then we fought the Terrafolk for the Nang Nang.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's correct.
Okay. So we haven't decided where Nang Nang is going to go yet. But I think it's currently with Duvaneth, unless I'm mistaken.
No, I think it's with Cole.
It was on...
Yeah, I think I have Nong Nong.
Okay. Because I know that I'm not holding any, so...
Did you want one?
Does it matter? We're going to get more.
I'm only offering.
Well, if someone would like to be bereft of their...
Well, we also wanted to split them in case something happened anyway. So Jet will go into his pack and give the Sue Monster one to Soul.
It just has to be the Sea Monster one.
I kind of like this one. If you want the
Yes,
Jakuli, I'll give you the Jakuli.
I just really don't like Sea Monsters.
I don't know what it is, so that's fine. Jet will take it back and give the Jakuli one.
We fought some. There were those psychic monkey things.
Oh. Yeah. He hands the Jakuli one
Little
over
bastards.
to Sol, and I'll remove it from my pack.
So we'll add it to his.
In the brief time that Koshak leaves the table, there's a notable exchange where Arta, sitting across from Duvaneth, kind of starts to adjust himself and to lean forward, placing his elbows on the table, and he opens his mouth to say something, and then leans back and says in a very soft voice, "The fish is nice."
It is.
Koshak, when you return, Visionary will gladly take the jug from you, and as she's taking control of it, she'll turn to the group as a whole and say, "I have 2 things that I wanted to ask. One is just a general question for the group, and one is more for Koshak. Shago, a few days ago, had invited me to live in Port Nyanzaru and enter society there as a whole. I wanted to know what you all thought of that."
I think that's a interesting idea. is that something that you would like to do?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I worry about the lack of freedom I may have. And I am nervous about being around so many people that I can't control. But I would be near Na. We would have access to medicine and stable food supply. And I am a little excited to see what is at the Temple of Sune and what a Colosseum is.
Temple of Sune is very nice.
Hmm.
Can you hear the cat? Okay, good.
I just wouldn't stay with Shago.
Well, the thing there is I don't really know where else I would be able to stay, but also keep the bulk of my court with me. I'd be taking a substantial number of the Arakakra with me.
Oh. Hmm.
I mean, it's not a bad option.
I'm not entirely sure if the Arakokra would find places to feed in Port Nyanzaru.
You definitely stick out
Well,
like a
that's-
sore thumb.
Well, she will
I'm not so
anyways.
much concerned about them sticking out like a sore thumb. Not bringing the Arakakra with me isn't a question.
Well, I mean, we know that Jabal and Azan aren't using their place anymore.
Strange circumstances.
Well, no, but their son's living there, and I assume, and their daughter and her caretaker.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, I do know Jabal and Coatlicay. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I pressed upon their hospitality. It's not that the Aarakocra and I are freeloaders.
It's staying with Shago, I think, would be fine, but staying there wouldn't be bad either. It depends on what you're more comfortable with.
Thank you for the bits, Kate.
I'm uncomfortable with everything.
Fair, but you might be more uncomfortable with one thing as opposed to the other. I'm going to stop talking.
Jet, Koshak, do you have anything that I should know about?
Well,
It-
go ahead.
Just you're not going to be able to control everything. Don't let it make you afraid to go outside.
She'll kind of press her lips together, having clearly thought that ahead of herself, but she'll nod.
I don't know. I would just say to, other than that, what you mentioned before, be careful, be safe, carry a knife, things of that nature.
Thank you, Koshak. Jet?
Jet just smiles for a second. Well, the port's in ruin right now because of this whole thing, so it's not gonna be as glamorous as you think. Just try to experience it for the most part. You've never been there, and nobody really knows who you are unless you say your name.
Even though they probably won't know who you are.
So
Unless you bring up the coast call part.
So you don't have.
Or they won't believe you.
So you don't have to be a royal person in port. It can be you. Trust me from experience of last names being known. Sometimes not being known is good as well.
So said something kind of similar to that this morning. She'll kind of motion as if she's going to say something, but she'll just kind of let it slide. What did you all want to see out of the jug?
The other cubes, right? Or which cubes are in Rosny's possession?
We don't know which ones he has, or if he has any, honestly, at this point. Maybe with, since he got kicked out.
Well, we have 5 that we have to find. Do we know where... Did we have any more hints of any other locations, or we get those, and all we have are 5 that are in the woods?
Well, we got the 5 that are in the woods that are supposedly with Rosny City.
Okay, so hypothetically, he has the other 5.
Mm-hmm. He either
Or
has
some
4,
number like that.
3, 4, or 5, I believe it was, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if we choose one and it's actually not on him, we still don't know where he is.
Well, we're going to be going to him anyways, through the...
Yeah, but it'd be helpful.
We know how to reach him through Mesro.
It would be helpful to know which ones he has, so we can... It would be nice to know which one he has, so if he's missing one, we could look for that. But I guess this is a one-time shot.
Yes, so we're either going to get one that he has, or if we're lucky, we'll get one that he doesn't have, and then we'll know where that one is.
True.
So
I guess
just
I was gonna... Yeah.
pick one of the 9 gods.
Or one of the other 5.
Well, that's what we mean, because
Yeah.
we have... I believe this one, he pulls up the Jakuli one. I believe this one is Moa, unless I'm misremembering.
Well, I know
So
how
That's
fond Koshak is of Unk.
You don't have Unk.
Which is just me making fun of Beauty.
It's a good name. Unk.
It's fucking Zorbo.
Fucking Zorbo.
Missionary will, as like the cubes are being brought up, Missionary will nod at Soul. Yeah, Moa, he's the patron of our priests and our craftsmen, being truthful and kind.
I think I like him.
Did we have a particular one we wanted to try, or are we just hoping they're all stacked up on top of each other? So
I don't think it matters very much. I mean, we just choose one, right? So there's Unk. I don't have my notebook in front of me.
He's so early, Dad!
He is early.
Right, Dad.
Oh god, it's getting
Right, Dad.
progressively intense.
Good night, Dad. So if we have Nong Nong, we have the Jakuli, we have
Yeah, we
the
have Nong Nong,
Papazotl.
Papazotl, and Nine.
I know I have all of them written.
And I forget what the
All right, so we have
Bongo.
we have Nong Nong, we have Papazotl, Shigimbi is the Kamedon, Moa is the Jakuli, which we have. Unk is the flail snail. Wango is the fucking Sioux monster. Aijin is the Almirage. And then I have Ijin, Cabazon with no name next to it. And then Obalak is the Zorba.
Obalaka.
And that's all I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay,
I
so
love god names. They're my favorite.
yeah. Well, let's go with Obolaka. I don't know why, but that one feels like the lucky one. Maybe it's because it's a Zorbo.
Obalaka, the
Thank you for the 100
patron
bits,
of
Kate. I'll let
security
Dad know
guards.
goodnight.
Nervous and obsessive. So, the cube of Ovalaka, is that what we're doing?
I
Mhm.
believe so.
Alright. She'll stand up, and as she moves around the table, Artus's chair will jostle, and she'll, like, grind his elbow against the table and say nothing. My dice jug. Missionary will find a place to pour the water where it will run off naturally and won't pool up in the house, but still kind of remain in the shelter. And the vision will begin to wade in. And what we see is a very pretty, very mysteriously charming woman, a Yuan-Ti who had met before, Namira. And she's wearing clothing that seems tattered, torn apart by spells, by hands, by a variety of other things. And she's definitely limping towards a brass statue of some kind, of two figures in a lover's embrace. And she'll reach down in between the two and move the earth using magic, revealing a small, unseeming pile of almost terracotta cubes. And she'll deposit some kind of object inside, an opal about the size of a fist inside, and push the earth back over it and leave just as quietly as she had approached it. And the image will wash out.
How many cubes were in the hole before she threw the opal?
You could count maybe 3.
Okay. That might be helpful.
Could we get a look at what's on the other cubes? Because they might be fake.
No, it was the bulk of the memory wasn't focused on the cubes, it was focused on her. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Koashok has an unreadable expression on his face.
Oh, buddy. I'm sorry.
The statue, the lover's embrace, did it seem like a sort of like religious symbol or scene, or did it seem to be like more human, like people that would be like of this plane, or did they have like a sort of otherworldly quality to them? I guess what I'm asking is, did one of them have a triceratops head?
No, it definitely seemed it was life-sized, and both of the figures like could not be any taller than, say, you. But they were definitely very human-like, and reading off of Majinari's expression, you can tell she, to some part, recognized it.
Does Koashok recognize it?
You do not, and make me a history check, because you might. This is from your neck of the woods.
Oh, god damn it.
What did you roll?
I rolled a bad number.
6.
So, Koshak, you do know that some of the Yuan-Ti, especially Namira, have made frequent pilgrimages to
Why are you have to cutting out now? Why?
She's full frozen. Hold on. Come on.
Rose face.
Got it.
Come on.
Got it.
Yeah,
Oh my god, she looks so intense.
she does. She looks very grumpy at us.
Why do you guys keep derailing my plans? Oh, she gone.
I just saw myself. I really just look like an inky blackness with 2 eyes.
Yeah, you really do. It's really good. Wait. You look like the
Oh, we're in a weird scene
the
right
fucking
now.
opening credits of the Cats the musical, like the 1995 version.
There we go. They're coming back.
Oh,
Very upset right now.
It's okay. We have a good frozen face of you right now.
We didn't hear what the verdict was on Cole's thing, though.
you know that they make pilgrimages, but that's where you cut out.
You do know that the Yuan-Ti frequently made pilgrimages to some of Omu's sites, and that Namira favored a statue.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh. Got it.
We lost you again, Fish. You can hear us.
Heck.
We have been missing some fresh frozen faces. I do get to
I'm wondering.
Happy New Year, happy frozen faces.
I'm wondering if.
But that's
Oh,
What?
about it.
you missed. We
No,
lost all. We
We
missed all of that.
it.
Like, we
Yeah,
know
that
that
is-
she made pilgrimages to a statue.
A favored statue that she likes better.
Certain locations. She's gone again.
Goodness gracious.
I'm wondering if the Lover's Embrace is the it's the folks that the progenitors of the jug itself, the Hitsy Suitor.
Oh, yeah,
I know what you're
the
talking
whole
about.
story
Maybe.
that was told.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out when
Eventually, some point.
at some point in time.
Also gonna have to ask Pushkal what it means, because if she looks like she recognized it, we gotta question.
Yeah, or ask her where it is. But if it's an Omuan site, my gut feeling is that it might be on the way to the city or on the outskirts of the city, so we can stop in. And also the Black Opal.
It's not necessarily a black opal, it's just an opal the size of a fist. And also,
It could be associated
to take a break, she's restoring her modem. The verdict, frequent pilgrimage to some of Omu's site, and Namira's favorite was the statue.
What?
So basically, it's an Omuan site, and it's a statue.
Okay.
All right, I think we're gonna take 5.
Yeah. So we'll be
we're
right
taking
back
5,
again, guys. When she comes back, we'll have her go through the whole thing. All right. Be right back.
I got a screenshot of it.
Yes, good.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to. Hey guys, welcome back. I had some connectivity issues. I don't have connectivity issues anymore, and if I do have connectivity issues, it's going to become everybody's problem.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I'm getting this one. This one's interesting. Got it.
Oh god.
no.
She's going to kill us.
Us, we're not doing anything.
I know, but
She said she's gonna make it everybody else's problem.
Oh, wait. Get back.
no.
Oh. Hello?
Fish.
Fish?
Oh.
Oh no. She was so excited about this session too.
Same.
Oh
wow.
How about you just not doing camera for a second?
Yeah.
Are you alive? I don't even know if she's
Oh
alive.
my god. Thanks for the 400, Kate. Holy crap.
Another 400?
Yeah, she just did another 400 bits.
that one's going. Those 400 bits are going towards Fish's modem.
Oh god, that's savage.
Hello, everyone. Am I here?
Oh my god.
I need to turn you down a little bit.
Oh,
Do you want to play a game?
It's the first thing I thought of when I heard her voice.
Hello,
Wrap
it up.
Would you like to play D&D?
Trying to eat, and it's not going well. Oof! Ow!
Oh my god. Hi, Fish. I love you.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. You good, Fish?
I'm very upset. Just give me 1 second.
No, you're fine.
On one
Just-
side of the room.
Would seeing my cat play with her toy help?
I don't think she can see it on her phone.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Well, I don't know if she has it up like that. That's all.
Okay. I'm good. I've got it up like that so I can see your guys' face. Okay. Just 1 second. Alright, okay, is my connection stable? Like, can you guys hear me consistently?
Oh,
Yes.
very well.
Awesome. Let me, because I'm using my microphone headset, let me know if you guys are hearing anything. So where we last left off, the group had just witnessed their last memory out of the memory jug, a vision of Namira walking towards a statue where the puzzle cubes had been deposited. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be asking that a lot. Missionary will set the memory jug on the table, struggling to find what she wants to say next. And after a sort of about 10 seconds of her sort of like messing with her belt, she'll place her hands on the table and say, the mantle that you all had recovered, before you leave, she'll kind of like glance upwards. I would like to be coronated, with all of you as my audience.
Okay.
I'm honored.
It's
Excuse me.
coronation isn't necessarily a thing in Omuan culture, And even if it was, I wouldn't know. It's one of those things that's been lost. She'll turn to Koashok, and as she addresses him, there's like a very visible tinge of disgust in her voice. Koashok?
Yes, princess.
She'll clench her jaw. Would bring honor to me if you would be the one to conduct the very brief ceremony and place the mantle on my head.
Okay. he just smiles at her. Closed lip smile, and he says, "It would be an honor to coronate you, princess."
Thank you. She'll just kind of stand there a little bit and then say, I also, yes, that's it. And I'll obviously be there to see all of you off on your quest. What are you planning to do?
We're going to, unfortunately, travel back to Mesro and go to the Temple of Uteo and use the bust of Rosny in the meeting chamber to teleport to his location.
Sounds about right.
That's
From
correct,
there,
yes.
we'll collect the cubes there somehow. And then we go to Omu and stop the Death Curse. Probably destroy the Soulmonger, to be more exact.
Alright. Okay. Sure. Adjust again. And there's nothing else that I can do to help you along with that?
Not that I can think of.
Unless you know where that statue is.
Near Omu? She'll give an award-winning smile.
Well, that was my guess too.
Well, would you happen to have any cooking utensils I could borrow or pay you for?
Sure. That does bring up another thing that I need to ask. You have left in my care a Tyrannosaurus Rex egg, a Velociraptor, and she'll look over at Yoka, who will look back, and then she'll look at Solidago. Yoka has taken care of himself. He's more than welcome here. But I do want to know what you envision for these two dinosaurs' future.
That is a very good question. I was under the impression that you liked Mo Shunare.
Sure, I do, but he's yours, as you made abundantly clear.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Well, he...
Cole just exchanges a look with both Jet and Duvanith, because this is definitely a conversation that they all had before each thing happened.
Duvanith will share the look and then immediately look at Alba and just kind of stare at him.
Jet's going to sip his drink.
Sip his tea.
Sip his tea.
Sip his tea. As for Motionare, if you would like to keep him, you're allowed to, if you want him. As for the T-Rex egg, I can see about. I'm not sure what to do with it. I stand by that keeping it around would probably be more helpful, potentially. But I don't know if caring for a growing T-Rex in the middle of the jungle will be a wise decision. And I would not wish that upon my compatriots either. If they're not willing, at least. So... Alba, would you want to keep the T-Rex? That is a long-term commitment thing.
Alva, having done his best to avoid making eye contact with anybody at the table, who definitely did not feel Divana's eyes on his face, we'll turn to him, and say, I mean, after the loss of, and we'll glance at Mercenary, my mount, taking on the T-Rex egg wouldn't be impossible, but it would be expensive.
That is true. We've already sunk a lot of costs into this. We've got to pay Echo still, and we're getting all this money to make Liss's life better, not T-Rex's. We're headed to Mesro. We could drop it off where we found it. Picked it up for a reason.
Did we find it on our way to Mesro? I felt like we found it on our way to the mines.
On our way back from Mesro.
Yeah, didn't we find it like just outside of here?
More or less. It was a few days walk.
Yeah, the larger, the monarch of feathers had killed
King of Feathers.
Oh, that's right.
I wasn't sure its preferred term of address.
It's a female, but we use King of Feathers. Missionary will lean forward to explain more, and then just kind of close her mouth and lean back and pick at her meal.
Artis is vibrating.
She is Artis's daughter.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I picked it up for a reason. And it appears that my reasoning wasn't as valid as I thought it was. So, it's up to you. It's up to you all. It's a group decision.
Why not send it back to Port Zaru? Surely the dinosaur stables for the races would be interested in such a thing.
Or, frick, Kojak would know the name of it, but I can't remember. The thing where they basically put felons in there, and they're like, if you beat the dinosaur, you get to live. Otherwise...
Executioner's Run.
Yeah, Executioner's Run.
That's also not a bad idea. Depending if I go back to Mesro and go on trial, I might have to face it. But, sending it back wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, how... Mojunari, do you have an estimation of how long it has until it hatches?
She'll think, kind of looking over to Alba with a questioning look, and she'll look back. 3 days.
Oh. I was not expecting that to be such a small number. How long does it take to fly to Port Nyanzaru?
I would have to ask the Aarakocra, but it can't take too long.
Well, fuck. Wasn't there a reason why we weren't able to sell it there before?
Probably because
we had talked about sending it to Port Nyanzaru, but that got shot down, I thought.
I think by Shago. Like, I don't think they can actually do anything in Port Nyanzaru with it.
Other than put it.
there's, like,
Oh,
laws
it's
about-
because either Joval or Izan were in charge of the black market, but they're both dead, so there's no way it could possibly be regulated in any way.
Oh, yeah, that's why Shago said no.
Then, I mean, we can send it to Port Nyanzaru then. I mean, that's an option available to us, I guess.
Well, no, because there's still no real person running a black market, right?
Mhm.
So if we send it there,
someone will have to come and take that place. I mean, they're not just going to leave that empty.
well, I think
Does Rosny like dinosaurs?
No.
It will hatch
Not
before we
really,
get there.
no.
An interesting welcoming gift. Surprise! Here's an egg.
I mean,
About
just
to hatch.
like honestly, like we don't have to gain money from this. We can just drop it. We can just have someone drop it off in Port
Well-
Nyanzaru and say like, "It's a T-Rex."
Well,
Congrats.
it's going to hatch in 3 days. I don't. So it's not
I
dropping
don't
an
know.
egg off. It's dropping a dinosaur off that's freshly hatched. And
Oh no,
probably
we would
looking-
imprint on somebody.
Would you prefer imprint on one of us?
No. That is the worst idea you've had.
Definitely not.
Hence why I brought it up, because no one wants to. So
Well, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
want-
It's in 3 days, so if they don't fly fast enough, it's gonna
yeah,
hatch in the middle of the air, which I'm sorry.
Certainly not a good
I have no
idea.
doubt they'll drop him. Because it's
I don't think they fly.
At that, Mujinari looks deeply offended, like actually offended, and she'll like make this very indignant snort. The Aarakocra have done a great many things mid-flight. They're more than capable of carrying it in what?
there's celibacy in Kiswell.
What are you
Anyways.
talking
Yeah,
about?
like-
Nothing. But what I'm saying is the concern of a hatching dinosaur in midair. The egg itself will crumble as the thing moves and breaks out.
Well, I don't think they fly non-stop, and I'm sure if they feel something moving in their pack, they'll land.
But I don't think they want to be imprinted on as well. So if they don't make it in time, we're forcing them to be imprinted on.
Well, we should find out how long it takes for them to fly there. What is the airspeed velocity of a laden
Of an unladen Aarakocra.
Of an egg-laden Aarakocra.
egg-laden Aarakocra?
Jesus.
Brijinari will dismiss herself, and just as she's wandering off, say, "I'll be right back in a few minutes."
Thank you, Mojunari. I appreciate it.
You think she's annoyed?
No, I don't think so.
Damn it. Anyways.
But I don't.
Honestly,
I mean,
my concern
throwing it
is...
off the side of Kirsteball seems like a bad decision, morally speaking.
My only concern is any decision we make, we're essentially dropping this off to someone who doesn't really have a choice to deal with it. Like,
They'll be able to deal with it however they want to. Same with us.
So why don't we let nature deal with it? Like,
I was going to
So-
say we
like
can put
we
it somewhere
talked about.
safe in the forests.
I
Like-
mean, that's just the same thing that we've been saying. I mean,
Yes, and it's
are we just
honestly
going to? It's just a different form of abandoning it.
yes, but if we
like, we're-
didn't take it, it would have been dealt the same hand without a mother.
It's still going to be
So-
dealt by same hand without a mother, but I do personally believe that if there is nothing else we can do with it, putting it back out into nature, maybe putting it in a safe place where something won't get to it for about 3 days, I have no qualms with that one. Duvanith, you're the tiebreaker here.
It also has to eat. So that's another thing. We're still letting it starve out in the middle of the jungle.
You said it was a group decision, Sol. I want to hear what Duvanith has to
I
say about the
know.
situation.
I'm aware that it's a group decision, but that's another thing to consider.
Well, if we didn't pick it up, it wasn't going to get food anyways, because not every creature instantly eats hard meals on its first day. So it would have not survived anyways.
I don't really care one way or the other, though I don't necessarily know if abandoning it in the jungle is wise, seeing as we've seen how the jungle has to, or tends to, have some sort of karmic retribution, almost. I mean, it's what goes around comes around. She'll sort of like motion at Echo. Maybe someone in Mesro maybe might be interested. Children of the Crocodile, perhaps.
I think they could even handle something like that. Like, no, I don't think anybody really always is prepared at all times to handle a T-Rex.
Well, my thinking is that there's the dinosaur areas within Port Nyanzaru, they can decide what to do with it. Per se, it's able to get there before it hatches. And then from there they can decide what to do with it. They could it will still be useful even if it's T-Rex stew.
It's true.
Question of if it gets there or not is the question, and we haven't gotten that answer yet.
So you're comfortable with the egg being eaten by people, but leaving it in the forest to be repurposed into the natural cycle is something unheard of?
If it's in Port Nyanzaru, there's a chance that it will survive.
There's always a chance that it will survive.
What are the chances of it surviving?
Same as anywhere else?
It's honestly, no one could even take care of it. They may just kill it instantly. It's a T-Rex. They don't...
T-Rexes are very expensive. They can make very good mounts within...
Yes, but
Well
with-
then,
They have
Princess...
She's not there.
Prince... Oh, she's still gone?
Departed the
She's
room,
still
yeah.
gone. Yeah, she's departed. Then why don't we wait until the princess comes back and hear what she has to say about how long it will take to get there, and that will finalize whatever decision we are conjecturing over.
Yes.
Tyrion will clear his throat. The fish is nice. I introduced them to lettuce.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I noticed that. This
Mhm.
lettuce wrap is very delicious, by the way.
It tastes like wet. How do you guys eat this?
I don't get it! Yes, Yeah, but you add stuff to it, and that's what gives it flavor.
I will never understand you omnivores.
A few minutes will go by, and Missionary will return holding the Sun Queen mantle in her hand, and she'll take her seat at the head of the table. Are we good now?
How long would it take for you guys to fly to Port Nyanzaru, Princess?
Was I supposed to? Oh, fuck it, I forgot. Give me 1 second. She'll get up, leave the room, walk back in. If they fly non-stop, 8 days.
Alright. So
Okay.
we leave it in then we leave it in the wild then.
All right.
Okay. She'll clap her hands together. Who wants to see a princess get coronated?
Can we do the ceremony up in the garden, Princess?
Oh, that's the question.
Silverago?
Oh, yes. Do you want to keep Mojunare?
I'm fond of him.
You're allowed to keep him if you would like him.
He would make for a good status symbol. I will keep him.
Very well then. Plus, I promised Liz a Almirage, and I don't know how well Velociraptors and Almirage will get together.
I think you can imagine how well they get together, Soul.
I can. It's very bloody.
Yeah, Koshak, we can do it up in the gardens. She'll pick up the mantle. Is everyone done eating? Or can we begin the procession?
So we'll hunk the rest of his lettuce wrap, and we'll stand.
Devoneth will get up to follow.
Koshak does as well.
Jet will grab Tyrion's hand and head up.
The rest of the party will sort of linger up to their feet, and Mujnar will walk standing beside Koashak if he allows it, Yoka bringing up the rear. And as they sort of pass by and get everything settled, Mujnar will reach out and invite Azek to witness the ceremony as well. Where in the gardens do you want to hold it, Koashak?
Is there anywhere that's like kind of raised?
Most of the raised places are pretty steep, but there is a sort of natural. Yeah, there's a place that's raised. It's a very
cool.
small, tucked out of the way area, but it is there.
Koashak will usher everybody there, and will allow Majonari to stick close to him.
Oh. All right, it's a balmy morning. And by morning, it isn't morning. It's well into the day. The mist having been baked away by the hot overhead sun, and the heat is baked into the rock, and it's sort of drifting up from it and drifting down from the sky. Mujinari will adjust her clothes, the sun sort of catching on the way her hair is arranged, and she'll compose herself and pass the mantle to Koashak, looking at him for direction.
Okay. Koashak set his back straight, and Muty will once again open their chat. Oh, come on. I know we've talked about this more. Here we go. Princess, have you washed your face at all? Did you bathe this morning?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm literally trying to remember the entire process.
We can, Koshak, we can skip all of that. I just sort of want to get the ceremony over with so I can face the rest of my day and you guys can get gone from Kirsabal.
Get gone.
That's fair enough. I do know that it requires a sacrifice of some kind, this coronation, and most often it is either done by burning or a sacrificial dagger is used. And I'm not a big fan of fire, as you can imagine, so, Princess, I would like you to use a dagger. And Kojak's eyes flit to the dagger that is resting on Poshkal's hip, as it has been since she received it.
Jesus. Visionary will face will sort of scrunch with confusion, and she'll stare at him, trying to get a read for. And what am I sacrificing?
Your dagger.
She'll lean back, realization sort of wiping over her face, and in one fluid motion, she'll detach the dagger from the frog and angle her body towards Duvaneth, not quite looking at her, and flip the dagger in her hand, holding it by the blade, and extend it towards her with the hilt of it facing her.
Miss Duvaneth, please step forward.
She will do so.
Do you accept the dagger?
Sure. So take it and hold it and step back.
All right. Princess, turn to me, please.
Missionary will angle her body back towards Koashak.
Surprisingly, I thought it would give me more pride to say this, but it really doesn't. Would you please kneel, Princess?
Missionary will glance at the sky for strength and drop to her knees.
By the power vested in me, by the royalty of Omu, I crown
the state
you.
of California.
I crown you, the queen. And he gently places the.
Cardio burns fat, right?
Call it a word, and I forget what the word was, but he places it on her head.
The mantle slips on her forehead, having been made for a head bigger than hers, and she'll stand up, sliding it back, and look at Koshak with an unreadable expression, but there's tears budding in her eye, and she'll kind of shove his shoulders a little bit before turning to the others and making a... She'll just kind of make a ta-da motion.
Golf claps.
You're all moved off of the platform, which is a thankful occurrence as everyone's sweat and body heat had begun to pilfer through the air and make it uncomfortable. And you all are more or less left to your devices. Artis makes it well aware that you all need to leave within an hour to make good time and progress in reaching Mesro before
Thank you, TJ.
another
Or should I
night
say
is
Tammy?
not wasted,
Thank
but
you for the follow.
spent. Any last calls for scenes before we move along?
Jet and Tyrion?
Did y'all still want to talk to artists? I didn't realize I was muted.
I didn't really pipe up with regards to what was happening in the jug, so
Yeah.
so
So it's
Oh, we need
not
to ask Coach
necessarily
Call what it was
scene.
about.
that's true.
Well, we asked her, and she was basically like, "Yeah, it's somewhere in the mill." But not necessarily a scene unless you have something to add to it, Fish. But Soul would just take a moment to hug Alba.
Yeah.
And say,
Fish, you got an inspiration from one of our newest followers. Okay, you
Hi,
saw
new
it.
follower.
He, his name's TJ. He actually is from my roleplay server. And of course, he gave it to me. He's also a big DM friend too.
Duvaneth will spend some time reorganizing her belt and loading the pistols based on the description she's heard in the past.
Okay.
Really quick, Kojak wouldn't know that the guns can send, would he? I don't think so.
not unless or Tyrion.
Tyrion would have given the information to the group as a whole.
Okay. In which case, this scene can happen. Koshak walks into, he doesn't walk into Devana's room. He walks up to the door and he knocks very daintily.
There's a loud bang from inside. The sound of splintering wood. Come in.
Koshak is very concerned and he slowly pushes the door open. Duvanith, is everything okay?
She's kind of got like a little bit of like black soot on her face. Yeah, no, it's fine. What's up?
Shot went off a little early, I see.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
I would like to use your guns. For magical purposes.
She'll kind of like cock her head. Oh, to use the sending?
Yes.
Who are you gonna send?
Namira.
We'll think about it for a second and then sort of take the one that's like in her belt out and then we'll sort of like futz with it a little bit and put the flint forward and then we'll sort of like put them down on the flat surface she had been working on and step back from them. Go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna type this junk out in group chat. Excuse me.
So hugging Alba is, you guys have had this occurrence before, the hug before a last event, a hug before the final goodbye. So sort of cradling and being cradled while standing is a familiar feeling that does not stop hurting.
Yeah.
Let me know when you post it in group chat because I have notifications off. Jet. Tyrion will act casual, obviously trying to save face and sort of hide how nervous saying goodbye to you is making him, but he'll take the time to affirm to you how brave that he thinks you are.
You know it's because of you, right?
Yeah. No, it's... Chet, no, it's not. I'm brave because you're brave.
Jet, will grab Tyrion's face, put both of his hands on his cheeks.
He's got a scruff.
He'll play with it a little bit with his thumbs, get distracted for a second, and then come back to reality. If it wasn't...
I sent it.
Oh.
Continue.
If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have learned to not be so insecure with myself. And if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have the strength to go do this.
This isn't about me right now. This is about you. Stop trying to change the subject.
I'm good at it, though.
Yeah, quit it.
But I'm serious.
I love...
And you're gonna be what gets me back.
This hits him. He physically recoils with his body and presses his lips together tightly. And as he recovers, his face will just sort of split into a smile, and he'll press his forehead to yours and just kind of hold you against him.
Jet's eyes will instantly close the second their forehead touches, and Jet literally just feels his energy. I'm going to come back. There's no doubt about that. You gave me a reason.
Tyrion will take his leave, but he'll say that he's counting the days.
So will I.
Koshak, you receive a reply almost instantly.
Namira has left the room to give Koshak his privacy.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Namira replies almost instantly. The second that you're sending processes for her, she sends a reply. And she says... Just give me 1 second to make sure it's all good. It's all fine. Things are going up. I found Sanctuary and Kuali is fine. Sekalak is dead. Ishiam tried to kill him. Te amo. If you're talking, okay. No, I was going to tell you if you're talking, you're muted.
Shock will nod. We'll walk out of the room and give a nod to Duvanith. As far as can tell, everything is supposedly going okay. Sekalak is dead, but I feel as if that was to be expected. And I don't know whether or not we'll have issues entering Omu.
Great. That answers some things,
I did not ask about the statue. My apologies. I was more concerned about her and my son.
That's... Do you have a son?
Yes. Anyways, we should prepare to go. And Cole takes a very quick leave.
Duvaneth will just and will return to the room and continue futzing with her belt and things.
That's it for me, babe.
Sorry, I'm trying to like move forward from that like very quick exchange. You all pack your things, you get them gathered, and your cluster of love interests are sort of gathered on the platform with Azek, Nafir, and Yoka watching. Eku will confirm what she had told you all a while ago, that Yoka would be staying here, that she would deliver you all to Mesro, and then you would be on your own. And she would officially leave her post as a guide. She would inform you, though, that she is still waiting to be paid, but she will wait until you're back before asking for payment, and that she will wait the customary 4 months before pressing your families about getting payment if you don't arrive back.
How thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
Well, Echo, if you meet my family, you'll have to kill them on sight, so...
Yes, that's why I'm not going. I've become fond of your happiness.
I feel
Duvaneth,
like
for
I have
your
to write that down.
Yes, Duvaneth, for your sake, I'm not going all the way to Neverwinter. I'll be pressing Shago about your part of the payment.
Oh, perfect.
She'll clap her hands together and just get on the polar bear that Artis has prepared. And Missionary will present the final gifts. She will give Koshok a vial of blood.
Right?
She will give Jet a folded... it's not quite a blanket, but it's definitely a large cloth of some kind, and she'll explain that it has the Omuan letters, something to help him navigate around Omu, or maybe translate some writing if they come across it. Basically an alphabet blanket.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
For Solidago, she gives a hearty clap on the shoulder and a confirmation that if he dies, she'll do her best to take care of his family.
Sol gives her a hug in return. He doesn't say anything though.
She'll, as he goes to hug her, she kind of like braces her hands against his chest, but lets it happen.
Like a cat.
Yeah, literally. And for Duvaneth, she goes, "You already got plenty of gifts." There's about...
Duvaneth will nod and will go ahead and pull her into a hug.
Missionary is like mid-word when Duvaneth does that, but she steps forward into it, and the hug from her is reserved for about 2 seconds before she just kind of goes all in and crushes Duvaneth's ribcage.
As that's happening, she feels something gets like stuffed in between her like physical body and belt.
Okay, yeah.
So she's kind of like jammed something in between.
And Missionary will kind of drop her onto the ground, briefly hold her shoulders and say, stay safe. If any of the racials have to die, make sure it's you. And she'll pat her shoulders and step back.
She'll just nod.
Sam's face.
Yeah, you look so concerned, but I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
If someone has to die, it has to be Divana.
So that way she can, so that way she doesn't have the pain of not knowing anymore, dude.
It's just
That's
crazy.
that on
I
that.
haven't heard it like that before.
You all depart. Tyrion struggles the most with letting the others go, kind of straggling after to watch them leave. And Alba just kind of stands on the, departure plateau, watching the bear go, and Missionary has already left before the four of you climb onto the back of the polar bear Artis summoned. And
Hold on. Sorry.
yes.
Before Jet walks away from Tyrion, he's going to give Tyrion his blanket. His cloak. I need to see Fish's face. God damn it!
That was the D&D version of a perfectly cut scream.
Right?
It was literally just like he leaves his blanket with him.
Jet's going to leave the item with Tyrion, and he's going to say to him, "I'm coming back for this again."
To be specific, this is like his baby blanket.
This is
like
the baby
his
blanket.
Yeah, the
that was,
baby blanket.
This was the baby blanket that was enchanted by his mother because Cobalt ripped it. That became the cloak of whatever that he can turn into anything.
Many fashions, I think, right?
Many fashions. Cloak
Many fashions, yes. This was the common item that I got for the playlist for Jet.
Yeah.
My tears, man.
I have to redesign his fucking outfit now. Damn it.
No, you don't.
Tyrion
We'll figure it out.
folds the blanket in his hands and he presses his face into it. Tears are already sort of beginning to leak, and he'll just nod, unable to say anything else.
Jet will give him one big kiss, and because he's still attached to that blanket, as he's kissing Tyrion, he changes it into the blanket from the cottage.
Oh.
Oh. All right.
Jesus.
This is the best. This is what Jet does. It just ruins Fish's life.
The elevator's like down. He has to like fall now.
Jet can levitate.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Jet can float. He's allowed to do this sort of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has enough time.
Soul also has the T-Rex egg tucked in his bag, just so we know where it is.
Fish
And
has to
so
recover for a second.
Yeah. And so you all leave.
We do. For the last time. We're never coming back to Gears of Ball. Please, players,
It
really.
rains. And it rains harder as the day goes forward, but Artis just sort of pushes the polar bear through it all. Not even registering the inconvenient weather. You make a brief detour to drop off the egg?
Yes.
Awesome. As you all go off to drop off the egg, I'm assuming, do you try to find the exact location, or?
We tried to find something like small, like a small area to keep it safe.
Okay. Make me a whoever's sort of leading that operation, make me a survival check.
Would Soul be willing to trust Cole with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. He'd be willing to help too. Get that advantage.
Thank you, Omega, for the 10 months.
Just let me know what you roll.
20.
Oh shit!
Dirty 20 or?
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, with that under your belt, finding a safe place to put the T-Rex comes easily to you. It's a... I'm trying to remember the words. A hollowed out giant, like, a sycamore tree that must have been home to a great many variety of animals. It's warm, but out of the climate, and it has a big enough opening for the T-Rex egg to come and go as it pleases.
Kojak is going to... I just had the spell up on my screen. Oh, Foundry, if you don't let me cast the spell. There we go.
What was the spell? I'm not in Foundry.
Protection from energy.
Aww. That's so sweet. I hate this session, bro.
So we'll carefully place it, and we'll take one of his rations and leave a little bit of jerky for it.
Once Soul sets it down is when Cole reaches over and just gently taps the egg.
Thank you. Jet.
It glows for a second.
Go ahead.
That was it.
Jet's going to walk up to the egg and go, "Be safe," and he's going to cast Guardian of Faith. So for
Y'all really losing everything for this egg.
So for 8 hours, this thing has protection. For up to 8
From a
hours.
literal, fucking 10-foot tall demigod angel thing.
Yeah. And if anything comes within 10 feet of that egg, it deals 20 damage until 60 damage has been exerted. For 8 hours.
No. I know about the spell.
Devonith waves her hand over the egg.
He says as if she's never played Penny before.
Devonith waves her hand over the egg and says, "Okay, are we done?
I'm thinking about how our game of TOA ended. Fucking Spirit Guardian. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I've been fucking.
Okay, guys, come on. We got conversations.
Yeah, we have conversations that have to happen today.
All right,
Wait,
we go. We eat. Let's eat.
4 days of traveling pass by in moments. The days sort of blending together. Despite inclement weather threatening over the horizon, Eku warning artists that it looks like they're heading into another monsoon season. He just pushes the giant polar bear through it all. And you all arrive in Mesro with hours to spare before nighttime, and you find that the town of Promise has spread more across the river Orlong and into the merchant's quarter of Mesro. And as you're sort of approaching, you can see that there are helmeted skulls on spikes, along with a variety of other creatures such as terrafolk or undead zombie heads mounted on warning spikes.
Sure.
There are several places that you guys can stop for at the night unless you want to continue on. Promise is thriving, but there doesn't seem to be any signs of the Thayans. And Mesro should be in your guys' navigation thing, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Switch over there. Do you guys see the icons?
We do not have tokens with vision in this scene.
Awesome.
If you right-click the scene up top, go to configure, and then switch off the font.
Not...
Oh, right. Sorry.
If you want to switch to GM, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah. I'll fix it.
Okay, cool.
Fish, you showed up.
for like a second.
It's Jason commandeering fish and
Oh snap!
Did that work?
Yeah, perfectly.
Alright, so you guys see the Children of the Crocodile token and then the modified token for the Atepka's Fist?
Yep.
Cool. So do you guys head straight to the temple, stop at Promise?
Wait, are the Thayans not there anymore?
Nope, Thayans are out.
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Are we
God
just-
bless. That's the best. I think that's the best thing that has ever happened in this campaign.
Are we just going straight to the temple? With
No, I would like to stop and Promise first, if that's alright.
Sure. Works for me.
Artis will sort of motion vaguely. I'm gonna stop by Rosnasi's old house, and I'll just find you guys when you're... Who kind of gesture again and then leave, Dragonbait in tow behind him.
Don't cause any more murders.
as he's walking, Artis will look back. Yeah, I think that's fair. Approaching Promise is easy. They're
Really quick before Artist leaves, Cole gives him a little kiss on the cheek.
Ooh!
Fish is getting all the love tonight.
None of us were surprised at all.
Artis won't return the kiss, but he will kind of run his palm across the top of Koashok's head and take his leave. He also likes finger guns.
Joggers.
Approaching Promise is easy. Their range of influence has spread farther out from the River Orlung, and they seem to be well into taking over the bulk of the merchants' quarter in Mesro. And you come across a lot of familiar faces, but most noticeably, the amount of non-Chultans are people who were once soldiers of the Flaming Fist are maybe about a handful left. You can count them on your finger how many are standing by on guard. And a lot more of the children seem to be out and about, still in tightly guarded clusters, but they seem to be enjoying themselves. The air of fear has, for the most part, lifted off of Promise. Finding Tehelan is easy. She is still in Promise's tavern. The music low and coming from a live band of flute instruments and the like. And Tehelan seems to be in sort of quiet contemplation with a few of the older women of the tribe. And she's wearing, notably, Indala's tabard, the iconography of the Flaming Fist having been ripped off entirely and replaced with a black circle framed in purple with a sort of grungy triceratops head stitched onto it. And Tehelan looks not excited, but almost a little proud as the four of you approach and most likely make yourselves known.
Yeah, basically. Good evening. Nice. Looks like you guys have done well for yourselves.
We have. She'll lean forward, kind of smoothing her shirt down. I heard from one of the Aarakocra that you finally displaced the terrafolk.
That's
the
a word for it.
Hmm. She'll smile. It's a good word. I like it. It sounds nice.
See, the Thans are gone.
They took their leave a while ago.
Say where they were going?
No.
Yeesh. When you have a spare moment, could I pull you aside for a conversation?
No. You can talk to me in front of my court, however, and she'll kind of motion at the band and with like 2 jerks of her hand get them to leave the room.
Oh. That works. That's fine by me. May we join you, or shall we stand?
She'll consider this and kind of squint over at Eku, and the two will have a silent exchange before she motions at the floor. You can sit there if you want.
So well. And he'll kinda look awkwardly at Jet Duvaneth and Koshak, but won't ask them to leave. So, I've thought for a long time about how I would have this conversation. Every I've thought about it just sort of felt wrong. As such, I'll try to keep this short. So, I appear to have 2 paths in front of me. Perhaps they converge later on, but I don't really have a good way of knowing that. On one side, I've been having dreams. I may have mentioned them to you before, from Ubteo. Of me walking through the maze of my life, and I recently received a question from him. I believe he might be calling me to become a beret, and I mean, it's Ubteo, it's hard to say. And so if I go to the Barado, I'll either grow more powerful and live to see my family and friends die, and I'll also live to see Chult hopefully grow to become what it once was, and maybe I'll be able to help with that. I want to help with that. But on the other hand, I might also just turn to dust, since I might fail. Who knows?
Duvanet's head sort of like snaps curiously at that, and her eyes kind of get wide.
On the other hand, there's more, but if you would like to interject, feel free. This is a conversation.
Tehilon will kind of smile to herself, and it's hard to place if it's a condescending smile or something stemming from genuine positive emotion. But she'll lean back and then lean forward, clasping her hands together. I find it interesting that you're asking me this, Dracul Semper. I find it interesting that you think that we, the Ashawans, would particularly care if you devoted your life to Ubteo or not, considering that we aren't practitioners of him, and considering that our way of life defies his, she'll kind of think, idea of how we should live ours.
Fair enough.
I'm interested to hear your thought process behind this.
Yes. I'm aware you aren't Mezrans, and Ubteo has abandoned Chult in general. But on the other hand, the other side of this, there's a warrant for me and my husband, but he's not a part of this conversation at the moment. It's issued by the Tepicus Fist and the Flaming Fist. So if I've returned to Port Nyanzaru, which I will eventually have to, I'll be put on trial, and I get the feeling that, the chances of me surviving that is probably a slim one, but there will be some modicum of justice for those that have been harmed by the Dragon Knights. And the thing I'm getting to here is, I know you and your court don't speak for everyone that's been hurt by me and the Dragon Knights and everything that's happened in Chult already. But if you were to give an opinion, which you don't have to, this is just a request, not an... What would you do? What would you do?
Tehelan will think. I am the tribe's mother of the Ashawans, and of any of your victims, I think I have lost the most. I've lost my appeal, I've lost my ability to hunt and provide. She'll gesture to the burn scars that have disfigured most of her body. If it were up to me, I would... She'll lean back, and she'll fold her arms. And she'll take a second to think, and kind of look over the rest of the wastrels. What's your take on this? We've been hearing a lot about the 4-5 of you. She'll gesture at Eku. So it's... I mean, there's a lot for me to think on, to chew on.
Well, I appreciate it's not something that's... I'm glad you're thinking about it.
Yes. I mean, Vrasnasi killed the bulk of our warriors, and here we are, 2,000 years later, wearing his famous triangle on our forehead. We're capable of moving on. I'm just curious if any of your friends had a defense for you.
A defense? For what?
Sure. She'll kind of pause. I suppose anything to add before I give my opinion. I'm not sure how you all run court, but She won't finish her sentence, and we'll just sort of let it taper off.
Oh, is Solidogo on trial?
I mean, sure, he came to me, a leader, and posed a question at me with the intent for me to make a decision. This sounds like a trial, does it not?
Oh,
No,
actually,
it doesn't.
no. Mm-mm.
Oh.
For one, I mean, you yourself acknowledge the fact that you're biased. Having been involved with Soul's Path, so you clearly can't make a unbiased judgment, whether you feel you can or not.
And also, the impetus of a trial is usually discussed beforehand. This was just a question posed and asked to be answered. A trial means that you have a wrong that you see or a crime that has been committed, and you want him to face judgment via whatever method you decide to use. This is just a question that has been posed and has to be answered.
To be fair,
Tehil
commit very many crimes.
Tehilon will nod, taking this all in stride. Thank you for correcting me. I am unfamiliar with these sort of situations. This doesn't happen to me very often.
We understand.
Thank you. She'll fold her arms. I'm not sure, Dracul Semper. You won't find much justice in the hands of the Flaming Fist, as they are. She'll look at Duvanith, just as biased as I am in seeing you be punished. But I doubt you would find very much in following the path of Uteo. Uteo does not care for Chult. He cares for Mesro.
That's very true.
And since you are asking me, she'll lean forward, placing a hand on her knees as if she's about to get up. You've all been doing a bulk of good work for Chult. The Terrafolk are gone. I understand that things have been clearing up in Port Nyanzaru. We're seeing the return of the monarchy. And for better or worse, your actions did lead to me finally clearing out Indala, and the Thanes have left. Sure, they might have moved on to another part of Chult, but she'll kind of shrug. They're not bothering us anymore.
Cole shudders at the thought that the Thanes are just inhabiting another part of inhabiting another part of Chult. And he has a thought that makes his face pale, but he shakes his head.
You were saying so?
Oh, yes, I noticed you're wearing her jacket. What happened to Indala?
I confronted her over her unwillingness to, she'll consider her words, appreciate that this was a leadership in two and not just her with me as an assistant. She'll kind of struggle to find her placement, so I challenged her single combat, and I won very easily.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad you have taken over that. You weren't an assistant.
I'm aware.
Yes, sorry. That distracted me. Please continue if you had any more to say.
No, I don't. I'm just not sure if I answered your question or not.
You did well enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Dracul Semper.
Just Semper. I don't want to be I'm not a Dracul anymore. Haven't been for a very long time.
Tehelan will smile at him. No. If that's all, I would like it if you all left my presence. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll leave.
Duvanith will follow.
Make a little filing line out of the area.
Yep.
So this could turn you to dust.
If I were to do it, if I were to answer Ubteo's question incorrectly, yes.
She'll just like squeeze the bridge of her nose, and she'll say, I promised your daughter I'd bring you home safe, and I'm going to be really pissed if you die to a magical trivia question.
Am I the only one that hasn't heard about this until now?
No, it's not just you.
Okay. So I feel like you all knew about this, but I was like distracted or something. I feel like I didn't
So,
know.
are you willing to tell me that you did not discuss this with
I
either
did.
Vanith or Jet?
I discussed it with both of them.
No.
No,
No.
you said, oh, maybe I'll be an eternal warrior who'll live forever. Wouldn't that suck? And I was like, haha, yeah. I live to be
never
900. Oh, and that was it.
Yeah, I definitely did talk to you about this. I talked to each. I made sure to talk to each of you about this.
Not with this level of context, Soul.
No.
So you did not tell them that you were to go and answer a question, and that if you answered it incorrectly, or Ubteo judged your answer as being flawed or, in any way flawed, you would die.
The last thing I remember you telling me about Ubteo at all is the fact that he didn't talk to you. That's the last thing, because I brought up my thing about how they talked to me. So I didn't even know anything.
I'm 99% positive I did bring it up with you, Jet.
No.
If not, I apologize.
Well, it's fine, because then we get to have this conversation all over again right now. Don't be so.
As we're walking away from this woman who doesn't want us to be near her.
Yes. Speaking of, do we want to just spend the night here? Do we want to go and meet Rosnasi at this hour?
I'd rather get some sleep just in case. Because we don't know what we're teleporting into.
Yeah, I just don't know if dropping into the middle of Rosni's court in the middle of the evening would be the best idea.
Or his room.
Yes.
Well, maybe not for the rest of you, but I don't know if it would go badly for me.
Okay.
I hate you.
This has been the worst 4 days. The worst 4 days.
I've had worse.
I mean, it does feel to fly by very quickly. Or run by on a polar bear.
True. But I was sitting more towards the front, and artists wouldn't be just.
Just keep talking.
I am the only warm thing on that thing. I've been a walking space heater for everyone that needs it for the past 4 days. And cooking. I did a lot of cooking. We just didn't see it.
Either way, yes, we should find a place to get put up for the night. I don't know if here is necessarily the best idea, though.
There's the house that we stayed in.
Artist's old place?
Yeah. I know Promise has moved into that area, but we could see if there's an unoccupied space. Make sure it's not infested with undead. Just a roof over our heads. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Had it for the past couple
I
of
think
days
that'd be a good
at
idea.
all. Before the
Well,
polar
like-
bear run.
4 days is technically kind of... It is a certain amount of time that one might consider a while.
Sure.
But I do want to head to the temple tonight. So if people would like to have a conversation about it.
Wait, you want to go tonight?
You want to go?
Want to go to Rosnasi now?
No.
No, he wants to go ask the question to Ubteo.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like,
I don't.
I thought we just said we were sleeping.
You can come with me.
I don't
I believe
really
you're allowed to.
think it's wise, Soul, but if it's what you feel you need to do, it's what you feel you need to do.
I can go with if you want.
Only if you want to.
Kind of side picked
But
up.
I can't. I feel as if Jet this is something Solidogo has to do for himself.
Oh yes, but
Or not do for himself if that's what he chooses.
I'm not saying I'm gonna stand next to him and hold his hand while he talks to Teo, but at least be supportive.
If Duvanov will sort of take a deep breath. If nothing else, before you head off to the temple, would you mind if I got my knife back?
I plan on leaving myself here. Don't worry.
Wonderful.
I'll be back. I promise.
Well, one way or another. One way or another, you will be.
One of the ways take longer.
Duvanov will just put her hands up and will say, last thing I'm going to say on the matter is, we're, just as Tehelon said, you were doing good work for Chult before this. Be worried about risking that. Chult, just leave it.
I know. I'll be alright. Just watch for undead along the way, right?
No, Duvanov will just wave her hand.
So,
Good
you're-
luck, Sol.
Okay, I guess you're going alone. I guess
Guess so.
you got this.
So we'll leave his bag and stuff, just so he doesn't have to carry it.
I hope you make it.
Oh well.
I hope you think better of it.
He takes Mimahez and will go to the temple.
As you walk to the temple, you're unbidden. You do have to take a brief moment to sort of either wade through the water or commandeer a brief skiff to get across the overflown river, but you're unimpeded. As for the rest of you, Artus's house is easy to find and easy to move your stuff in. He's clearly been waiting for all of you to arrive. And so have 3 children. Nidhi, Xochitli, and a young girl with a very recognizable face, known as Imezra. The 3 of them look dirty and have been roughing it for a few couple of days, but they're elated is a weak word for how happy they are to see the group.
Nidhi, how's it going?
Nidhi has grown a scruff. His patchy, pubescent beard is starting to come in, and he looks unnervingly like Jobal. It's like a mirror. And he'll clap his hands together and say, I'll be frank with you, Devonith, it's been really sucking. It's been really bad. But you guys are still alive.
The moment that Kojak registers that Koali is there in front of him, his arms are open and he is scooping up that boy.
It's Xochitli and Imezra. Koali is not there.
Ah, dang it.
Aww.
In any case, well, he still scoops up Xochi.
Yeah, she's used to it. She just, like, lets herself get lifted.
Xochi so tight. He's...
Duvanith will start futzing with like Soul's equipment that they had to take along with them, and will remove her dagger and sheath off of the belt and swap it for one of the ones that she'd found in the jungle that she'd been carrying around. And she'll sort of put it off to the side and say, What's made it so bad?
You also find in there a little stuffed dragon that has a little pull string on the back.
Oh,
Nitty will sort of compose himself. Well, my parents are dead.
We know, fortunately. If it makes you feel any better, we got the bastards that did it back.
Oh. That does. Well, I'm also not a merchant prince anymore. Dad said if something happened to either of them, I was supposed to rack up a massive debt on the merchant prince of Guide, and then get out of town and go here. So he'll kind of scratch the back of his head. Been here.
A bit different from Port Nine Zaru, but I mean, the Thayans are gone. That's a plus.
Nitty will nod, and then he'll just start crying hysterically. And it's not a great sight. A 17-year-old just sort of crumpling in on himself, and it's like the kind of crying where he catches on his breath and struggles to. It's just really bad.
Cole Cole is going to kneel at Nitty's side, but he won't like say anything. With his free arm that he's not using to keep Xochi on his hip, he's just gently rubbing Nitty's back.
Yeah, Dubanith is also going to be like the best she can. She's not very good at it.
So the doggo, you approach the Temple of Upteo. The wide double oak doors are just kind of slightly kept open. A strong wind, or someone who crept in must have forgotten to close them.
Okay. He walks inside.
You walk forward. Flanking you are, again, the busts and minor statues and of all of the beret who've ever served, including the drawers in the back that now keep the remains.
Sol will stop by Mystica's and give it a little pat.
Mystica's statue is there, her face tilted towards some unknown danger, and it appears that someone has been leaving gifts of some kind.
Aww. I don't have anything to give you at the moment, but your Artis is hanging in there. Right. And then he'll head to the doorway and think of the main temple area.
Okay. By the main temple area, are you thinking of the mosaic floor where you confronted Orvex?
Yes.
All right. It takes a little bit, and this time as you pass through unbidden. No hands, and you just kind of glide through the shadows as if stepping through a door, and you find yourself in the main temple.
Nice. Nothing's changed. Looks the same.
Looks the same.
Right. Cool. So Sol heads into the center of it, stepping around the mosaic and sort of looking down at it curiously, before finally reaching a spot that feels comfortable, and he will kneel down, and then he will flop back into a crisscross applesauce, and he'll rest his hands on his knees and say, You almost had me, by the way. Just so you know. But honestly, your question sort of gave it away. I am not here to do your bidding because the answer to your question is you give options. You gave an option to Rosnacy, and you gave him the power to raise the dead and have an army of them to do his bidding, and he used that to cause great harm. And when he could have used it to do something better, he could have rebuilt Mesra with them. And he dealt with that consequence because, well, it was fated by you that he would have that power. It was his choice and his chance that he chose what to do with it. If I were to believe that it was all up to fate, I would talk to you, and I would surely become dust, since there isn't really a right answer to your question. Not really. You're a trickster. You're Ubteo the Deceiver. You say things, and then you hope we learn the lessons from them. And if we don't, we get tricked. It's a trap. I wanted to believe that I was going to do something good. And I have. But not in the way that I thought I would. I've done a lot worse than I've done good. But the person that I've harmed the most from it is willing to move on. So should I. I don't owe you or them or anyone else anything. It's only what I choose I believe in and want to give people. I thought I would have a better answer for you, and I don't think you're going to give me another chance of talking with you. And I'm not sure if I want it. It'd be nice for confirmation, but that's not the point. If I wanted confirmation, I'd go to the Barado and become dust. But I suppose the real thing I'm here for is to thank you for teaching me my lesson. And so we'll sit there for a bit longer. Sort of looking up at the ceiling and then beyond. Then he'll stand up, sort of brush off this place where he's been sitting, and we'll head back.
Roll me a d100.
Get to use a whole new fancy dice for this. $52.
You step out of the temple, and where do you think of?
He thinks of the main entrance hall.
And that's where you step out, the mausoleum / Hall of Champions, where the bodies and bones and all of the past bray are held. And you step through the shadow as if stepping out of bed. It's seamless and doesn't quite have the lingering effect that it had before.
He stops by Mystica's again, gives her another little pat.
The statue does not move.
Yeah, well. She was still nice. And so we'll exit. Try not to get eaten by zombies along the way. And head back to Artus's house.
As you exit the Temple of Upteo, sort of standing at the front of a pretty well-built canoe, a lantern hanging off the front of it, is Tehelon, not wearing her tabard or anything else, just sort of resting against the front of it, and she'll kind of wave at Solidago, and just sort of watch him walk by.
No chance I could bum a ride.
No.
Figured.
I look forward to us being neighbors one day.
I look forward to that too.
Good. And she'll kind of push the boat away and leave you alone. The walk back here unimpeded, and the three of you find yourselves sort of caught in between the conversation of two people. Niddy has moved past crying and is adjusting himself to talking with people that he doesn't have to hide from. He's telling the bulk of you all about how he's taken up lockpicking, how he's going to be the best at throwing daggers. You know, he started picking up magic. He's like in it. And that little Xochitl has begun to walk and talk. And her favorite word has been paza, and she says it to everything. Her intonation just reflects 1,000 meanings.
You spell that one in chat?
Sure.
Does Kojak know what it means?
It's babble.
Babble.
Imesra keeps to herself, but she's very clearly watching everything going on, and has a very serious expression that looks wrong on a 12-year-old's round face.
She has middle child syndrome, I see.
Devoneth is just sitting on the floor and sharpening the knife that she's retrieved from Soul's equipment.
Kojak is taking care of the kids. Like, it's probably very strange for the party to see because he's usually very reserved and very distant with them, but with the kids now there, he's just like going.
I see it now.
It just sits back and lets it happen.
Xochitl asks Artis for food, and Artis tells Xochitl to ask Koshak for food. Koshak, a young... Yeah, literally.
Ask your mom! Oh man. Oshak nods and then turns sweetly to Artis and says, "What food do we have in this house?"
Jet's gonna grin at that.
Artist looks back. We've got he'll look down at his drink. We don't have water.
Jet, would you be willing to conjure up some oatmeal for the occasion?
How do you not listen? I've learned other things.
Oatmeal is best for a 3-year-old, Jet. That's why I ask.
It's 30 pounds of food. I think I can make a variety of things everybody can eat.
Niddy will open his mouth to say something, and Imezra from the corner, from where she's like staring at Duvanith, will say, "I like oatmeal."
Okay, 2 oatmeal. Anybody else want to specify something that I can make for them?
I'm level 10 now. I have the variety. I have the range.
I've gotten the recipe book, bitch.
If you could make some of that punishment stew, that'd be very nice.
Oh, Sol, you're back.
Oh goodness, Jet. Sol, where did you come from?
Probably from outside.
From the temple?
Don't get sassy with me, Jet.
Yeah, thank God.
How does Jet make friends with Alita and Cole?
Very good intro, Soul. I like that.
Just happens. I'll make a variety of things. And Jet will walk into the kitchen.
I see we have some new guests with us.
Yeah, they were here when we got here with Artis.
Oh. Niddy, is that you? You have Scruff now.
Niddy will kind of look at Soul and say, "I thought you died."
Jesus.
Oh well. I'm sure a lot of people wish I did.
Niddy will gesture with a hand and kind of motion. Yeah, Jet's taking food orders. You should ask for oatmeal. I know you said punishment soup, but you should get oatmeal.
Jet's gonna scream from the kitchen, "You're lucky you're underage."
You were 1 year old, or I would beat your ass.
What was that for? What was that? A felony this morning. Don't laugh at that. I stole that straight from a comedian. Very good comedian.
All good.
I've had his oatmeal. It's not that good.
Damn.
So all of a sudden sees a mage hand pop up and is just doing this.
He does right back.
Jet will make a variety of food and use whatever he can to spice up the bland flavor that comes out of everything he cooks. Which are all assholes.
Soul helps. He can cook now. He helps.
You can help flavor it while Jet creates it.
Yeah, you just create like the raw ingredients and Soul just cooks it all.
Yeah. Doesn't say. It just says it's bland food, but it doesn't mean can't be put together differently.
Exactly.
Jet eventually, just because of his reputation, ends up making the best oatmeal in Chult.
The only oatmeal
Like the
in
best baby
Chult.
food.
Jet just
Maybe
creates
that's why they love oatmeal so much. They don't know it tastes bad. They've never had oatmeal before.
the climate can't handle it.
Is that my knife, Duvanith?
No, it's my knife that I handed you about 4 months ago.
Huh. That is true.
I swapped the other one that I was using.
Oh.
For your belt.
That's okay.
It's just, I like the size of this one and
Yeah, it's fine.
Hmm.
I think I should specify I'm not a beret now.
that's good.
That works.
That was a wise choice, I think.
I agree.
Eku will kind of pipe up from where she's been watching the children, not like to the extent Koshak has, and she'll say, "Oh, that's good. They're all jerks," and she'll give a smile at Solidago, like a big grin that shows her molars and gums, that kind of thing.
Ooh. Okay. Yes, and then I don't believe we've met before. Well, one. He sort of like squats down next to Yemezra and holds out his hand.
Imezra will fold her hands behind her back and sort of rock on her heels, and then she'll extend a hand and take his. My name's Imezra. My mother was Jessamine, and I'm supposed to be the merchant prince of assassins and poisons.
Oh, very fancy.
Thank
what are you
you.
doing all the way out here in Mesro?
I got kicked out. Niddy picked me up. She'll kind of glance over at him, look back. I think something bad was going to happen, so we left.
Oh.
Coup attempt or something?
Yeah, they got rid of my bodyguards, and they were starting to. She'll just kind of taper off and start staring at the floor.
That's not great. And well, is from the Flaming Fist and the Yptepka Society, not the Merchant Princes.
What are you asking?
No, Soul's just not posing a theory per se, but bringing up that his warrant isn't from the Merchant Princes, it's from Yptepka's Society and Flaming Fist.
Koshak?
Oh, Koshak was I was just gonna ask if there was the supplies to make like classic hot chocolate there.
Unfortunately, there's not. A bar of chocolate has been sort of snuck into your pack, and there's a few things of coffee, but nothing to make hot chocolate.
Okay. I'm thinking about the original way to make hot chocolate, which is just water, cacao, and sugar. There's no sugar, is there?
No, there's definitely no sugar, and there's definitely no cacao beans.
Damn it. Koshak pouts, but he continues.
It's a dark day.
It's a dark day. No cacao supplies. But he helps Jet set up like little food plates for the kids.
Duvaneth will finish sharpening.
Oh God! There she goes.
Oh no!
It's a good thing.
Almost
Maybe
time.
she's going back up to her computer.
Maybe.
We've been lost. We've been abandoned. God is dead and we killed him.
Yeet.
God is back.
Rise of the rain.
You're muted, Fish, if you're speaking.
Okay. I switched back to my PC.
Knew it.
Duvaneth will finish doing maintenance on the knife that she had lent Soul, and will sort of attach it to her belt right next to Roka's dagger, and will heave ho her belt on back on.
Looking fresh as fuck. Things kind of devolve into a comfortable silence. The table to eat at was definitely made for a family of 3, so cramping in together with all of you doesn't quite work, and Eku, Artis, and the kids kind of volunteer to eat at the floor. And nobody really says anything. Nidhi will definitely kind of let Duvanith know that he's aware that she has her dad's guns, but makes no move to take them away or comment on it. And there appears to be some small amount of relief on his face, seeing them recovered and in the hands of someone who isn't a cannibal.
Yeah. She'll, like, when she notices him notice it, she'll, like, just kind of give him a sympathetic look, but not say anything.
He deeply appreciates it. The night passes without incident. None of you have dreams.
Good.
But one of you does wake up with a crawling sensation in the back of their neck. A feeling like someone is digging holes into the back of your skull with their eyes. And
Who is it?
Who's the one that wakes up with that feeling?
Jet.
Oh.
Fuck. My turn. Well, Jet will touch the back of his neck. Does he feel anything?
Fish?
Fish?
Oh no.
Computer said no.
We have such bad curses with DMs and their internet.
I know, right? I know.
Just stay it on your phone.
I can't have shit in Fayetteville, y'all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, hon.
It was Jet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jet will like touch the back of his neck. Does he feel anything?
He does not. I mean, he feels his hair. He feels some bumps and bruises from traveling.
Okay, so he feels this, and it's been discussed before that this is probably the hag, right?
Yeah, this is something that's happened to both Div and Soul.
And they took the rod of security, so they can really, really easily
Be
scry on
invisible.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Jet's going to cast Detect Magic and see if there's anything that pops up in like his area. Feeling this.
Okay. Sure, go for it.
Okay. So he'll just cast it normally, just to see if anything out of the ordinary pops up.
Okay, as you cast Detect Magic and your senses become overwhelmed with the information, you can't see a ball of divination magic hovering about 10 feet from you, and as you're taking in the sight, it will sort of wiggle back and forth.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Jet's gonna look at it, given that he knows what this is because he has this spell. I'm assuming it's scry.
It's a safe bet, yeah.
He's gonna look at it and go, "Do you have nothing else to do but look at someone who's sleeping? You already took something, just go away. Oh, go deal with someone else. Codic bitch." And then Jet will just walk out of the room.
Jet, as you're crossing the threshold out of your room, a kind of bell goes off in your head as you receive a sending, and a cool voice fills your head. I'll be seeing you soon. And the spell will end, no words being left.
Jet will reply to the sending.
Oh my god!
Oh boy.
He's getting sassy. It's too early for this shit.
He's sassy and tired. A horrible
He's
combination.
sassy and tired, yeah, essentially. He's gonna reply to the sending. Well, hopefully you don't run away like a little bitch this time. And then when everybody wakes up, Jet's gonna go, I pissed off the hag, by the way. She's coming to see us soon.
What?
Jet, what?
I pissed the hag off this morning.
Jet, there are children here.
Yeah. She woke me up. What do you want me to do?
Think of the children?
I was thinking of my lack of sleep and how we're dealing with something and this crazy bitch decides to come and fuck with us more.
I'm sorry, what happened exactly?
Jet pissed off the hag.
So she scried on me and woke me up with it, which was first really awkward because, no. And so I talked to her through the scrying because I know how it works. And so she sent me a sending, and so I replied to not run away like a little bitch if she wants to fight us again.
And it was definitely a hag. Well, I don't know who this will be, never mind.
I've never heard the voice before, so probably.
Yeah.
But she didn't like what I said to her in scrying, so that's why she sent me a message saying she'll see us soon. I told her not to run like a bitch. Sorry. Not really.
See us soon.
I mean, we are heading to where she probably is, right?
Most likely, do you think that maybe...
She could be here, we don't know.
I mean, it could very well
Yeah,
be
we don't know.
that...
Well, I mean, they have control over the Soulmonger. We're going to destroy the Soulmonger. Which
Wait, do we know
Wait.
if they have control over the Soulmonger?
Wait, the heck?
Yes, because they were able to stop it from affecting the Terrafolk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right, that little piece of tidbit. So then I guess we'll see the hag when we see the Soulmonger?
Supposedly.
Or before, because they know we're looking for it.
Well, either way, she woke me up and she decided to be a cocky little bitch, so I replied to her. We're gonna see her anyway, so what's the point of not having fun?
Fun's a word for it. I'll,
Certainly word for
Are you
it.
100% sure it wasn't just like Tyrion doing a funny voice? They cranked
No, because he can't do a good voice like that. I've heard.
Sorry, Tyrion, but you can't voice act.
Can't.
Voice acting denied.
That's a dig at me for having 3 NPC voices, my voice, and then an accent.
That is not a dig at you. Fuck off, fish.
It's literally just a dig at Tyrion
That's
because
literally
Jet's
just
like,
a
Tyrion would
dig
not
at
have.
Tyrion.
I know.
Don't
I
make me
will-
look like a bad guy.
I will say that they were able to make me feel as though my arm was being ripped off without even being near us or close to our presence. So I don't know if pissing them off was the best idea.
Well, the thing
I
with
mean-
that is we figured out what it was, which was the ant, and I remember through my research that they have an ability like a Find Familiar, where you can cast a spell through your familiar. But the thing is, they have to be within a certain distance.
Is it? I'm surprised that a giant pile of ants can talk.
Well, if given swarming intelligence, I'm pretty sure, because there's a type of ant that lives in the Chulten jungle that they don't usually attack or hurt people, and they're not usually known unless Chult is infected, as can see. But they have very intense swarming abilities, almost as if their hive mind allows them to be alive. So in some ways, it's not surprising if a hag is either at the source of it or took advantage of the situation.
So perhaps the hag that we saw at Firefinger wasn't a hag itself, but a swarm of its familiars?
That or it controlled a lot of familiars. If you remember, I have a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if you remember, I have a token that lets me conjure the animals, hence the
No,
owls, and you could conjure a lot of ants with that spell.
Yes. So yeah, it's not necessarily a
Impossible.
didn't necessarily saw a hag while we were at Firefinger. We just saw a bunch of ants
Or the
being
hag,
controlled.
or the hag could have used them as armor, just in case.
Oh yeah. Ugh. God, I can't imagine having that
Gross
many
is-
ants all over me.
that just
Ugh.
grosses me out as well.
Okay, yeah. Change the subject.
Emesra clears her throat. Good table talk, you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mesra. I love you.
This is normal for us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, usually we have a jug to look at.
That doesn't make us sound any more fucking.
Yeah, that doesn't make it sound any better.
It doesn't. But that's also
Okay.
True.
Usually we're looking at a jug.
All right. Okay. She's gonna get up and she'll leave.
Okay.
Well,
Alright.
regardless, if they've seen us here and we don't want them coming here, we should probably get on our way.
Mhm. To be fair, they were staring at me for a very long time, and he sort of like rubs his neck at the memory of that. So they
Yeah.
tend to just wait.
But and the spell only sees the person they're aimed at, so she doesn't. Unless she's really close to us and followed us from here on a giant polar bear, she only knows the inside of that room, for the most part.
And here.
Well, she did it when I was in my room, and she sent the sending after I walked out of it.
Still feel the thing on the back of your neck, though?
Do I still feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's still watching me.
Yeah.
Well, she already knew what we were
Everyone's
doing.
socially distanced from
Yeah,
Jet.
right. At least 10 feet. Well, if she already knows what we're going after, she already knows we're coming, so not much
Yeah.
to hide here.
True.
Sucks that she has that rod of alertness, though.
Just gonna look at the children and then stop his comment. Yeah, no, terrible. Just terrible. I made
That just
fish.
made me think of like the comic where like Cole is covering the kid's ears and Duvana says "fuck."
Then kid says fuck, and Cole goes on
Cole just beats her ass.
beat.
That's when you just...
Is that
Go ahead.
is that all you guys discussed before heading out to the Temple of Ubteo?
I would think so.
All I had.
Mm-hmm.
Two things for Soul. One, he will say to the children, so you're here on your own? No one's watching you?
Nitty will nod, more or less. Yeah, we didn't really know where else to go.
Okay. Well, you're Nitty, you're the oldest. Are you comfortable with the situation? Because there is the rest of Promise. You could probably find some people that are willing to help with the burden of...
Nitty will shake his head. No, they don't like us.
Oh,
They're letting us stay here, but that's only because we have supplies here.
okay. Fuck. And there's no chance of you all having adults coming to find you at all?
Nitty will shake his head. No, the death curse stopped that.
Oh.
Artis,
He'll look over.
how long do you intend on staying in Mesro?
Not long at all. Not long at all. I'll be going with you all to see Rosna Sea, and he'll pause, or I can stagger behind if need be.
If there's anything that you can find to do with the children before you make your way over, I would be very much indebted to you.
Artis will adjust, and you don't need to be indebted to me. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
He'll kind of brush a thumb against Koshok's cheek and then clap his hands together. I guess I won't be stepping with all of you through the head. You all remember the word?
It's his name, I think.
3
Yes.
times.
No?
Just the once.
Yeah. Make sure that you're all touching each other, or touch... kind of struggle to find the words. You just all have to be making a connection with the head.
Yes.
Good choice of words.
Thank you. He'll look at Nitty, who looks back, and he's just gonna like kind of briefly glance at the sky. Jabal's gonna kick my ass.
17.
But you all know the word?
Yes.
Yes, his name.
Yes, so say it at me, so it's the right one.
Krasnasi?
No.
No, it's
No.
No,
there, it was
it's
a different.
specific. Yeah, it's like he's a Muin name.
He's a
Isn't it-
Muin
Isn't
name.
Isn't it on the bust itself?
Yeah, it is. At least I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's just finding the right bus,
Which
which we know which one it is.
yeah, we know specifically which one it is.
Yeah, it. Freaking what's his nuts? Orbex said it to us.
What's his nuts?
I don't have it written down.
I have it written down somewhere. I just have to find my notebook.
What's his nuts? Jesus Christ! Jeez.
What? You've never heard that before?
Not from you. In the longest
Oh.
time, I've never heard you say "What's his nuts." I don't
What's
know
his
why.
nuts? Yeah.
I don't know why it's making me laugh right now.
What?
Artis will nod and alright then.
If you'd
Stay
like to
safe.
remind us of what it is.
Hmm?
If you would like to remind us of what it is.
I would.
Would you?
Then do it.
Oh,
It's Ipampili.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
I-
phonetically spell that out and then spell it out the way I think it's spelled.
Thank you, Artis. I appreciate it. Well then.
All right. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you shortly. You all travel to the temple of Upteo, and Eku tags along, clinging on to the last chance he has to guide you all.
I thought you were about to say to get her money. I was about to say, damn.
No, she hasn't brought up the money yet, but
Keyword.
she's struggling with her emotions, and she'll give you all a very heavy pat.
So we'll give her a hug if she allows.
She does not.
Yeah.
She
that makes
definitely does not. I wanted to thank you all. I wouldn't have taken you all on as a group if you hadn't freed my son from Ethan. Thank you for bringing him back to me, back into my life.
Duvada will look at Cole. Look
What?
back at Eku.
Anyways, I will be taking my leave, and she will just disappear, just like she just whoop, like a Star Wars transition scene.
Jet will yell into the ether, rude, and then look at Cole. You didn't tell us.
She's an angel.
I am certainly not Eku's son, but I would remind you both, or remind you all in case you didn't remember, there was a celestial serpent that was trapped in Ifan's living room that we released.
Yes, the
Chikuli.
Coatl. And she
Oh.
did just
Coatl.
literally disappear.
Honestly,
But she doesn't look anything like.
But wouldn't Jet know? Because I remember this specifically, that Jet cast Detect Magic, and Fish was like, oh, Eku's hella magic. Eku's just all fucking magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
there was no.
We never got confirmation,
Well,
though.
the thing is, Jet knew she herself was magical, but there was no indication of what she was, what school of magic, and Jet really was too afraid of Eku to be like, so, why you like all bodysuit magic, bruh? So Jet was just like, she's powerful. She's powerful.
That's where we'll end tonight's session.
All right. Thank you all for tonight. We got 2 new followers and 2 return subscribers, so appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out the Discord, and we'll be back next week for the final thing.
No, not final.
Well, the
Final
last
arc.
act.
We're entering the last act.
We're entering the last act.
Yeah.
Thank you all, and have a good night.
Cheers.
Good night. Bye.